Hey everyone, Tony Winston here for Classical Piano Workshop. Boy, it's been a long time since I've done a classical song here on YouTube. So the song is by Burgmuller and it's called L'Orage, the Storm. And I searched around on YouTube for videos of this, and every single person I heard plays it, in my opinion, too fast. This is, a storm that's brewing, and it's not a very long piece, so why do you want to be done with it so soon? Let's take our time with this piece, and of course, I'm going to do it fairly slowly right now. So the chart I'm using, the music is out of this book, the Applause book, and I found a few other versions on IMSLP, but a lot of them have misprints in there, so this is a pretty good version. However, I disagree with the pedaling, and I'm sure most of you piano teachers out there are going to agree with me on this. So right here in the beginning, what you want to do is you want to make sure these are the little slurs, all right? They're 3-note slurs. So you want to be light on that last note and come off of the keyboard. Don't hold that last note. Keep it kind of short. And you see I've marked in there a little crescendo, decrescendo on those things. And no pedal, because the pedal, is that the sound you want? All right? That's not the sound I want. Now here, pedal is very appropriate. And be careful when you play these. If you hit one note too loud, it'll spoil the whole effect. So you got to keep that pretty soft. And yeah, re-pedal there, and then get it softer again. Same thing here. Now don't use the pedal. Pedal here. You could pedal these, but I would let that pedal off. I certainly wouldn't go like that. It's just too blurry. If you're going fast, the pedal just makes it so you can't really hear the notes, right? Can you hear what's going on here? Kind of, but maybe just a little bit to help glue those together. A little bit of pedal here is good. I just do it about halfway through that, and then let it off there so those notes are clear. And another thing about pedaling too, it really matters. If you're in a big room, you don't need as much pedal because there's echo. If you're in a small room, maybe you want to use a little bit more. Depends on the sound of the piano. So use your judgment. That's what I'm trying to say. And then really whack this note here. I think there's a real accent there. Yes, there is. It's just been marked in red there. And, I would hold on to that note. It says to do that anyway, but, because you don't want to pedal the whole thing. Right? So you got to keep that note in there. And I'm pedaling a little bit, but I'm letting it up about right there, so. What did I do wrong? Notice this, ba-dee-da, da-dee-da. Since it's mostly the D minor chord, pedal sounds great. Letting it off maybe a little bit there and getting ready for the next pedal. I wouldn't do much there though. There we have just 2 big chords there, so that's a great place for a pedal. All right, going into the B section here. And you have to be very careful with the pedaling here. The left hand has a good part of the melody, so. Now, do you really want to go like that and have the pedal down through there? I don't. Right? So no pedal right in that little spot, then put it back down again for that glorious F major chord. But keep those little chromatic things clean. Of course, that measure is just beautiful chords, so put the pedal down. Before I go on, I'd like to just plug somebody else's channel for no particular reason other than I think it's a good one, and that is Josh Wright. And he's a great classical pianist. I'm going to send him a note one of these days and ask him how he does those. They're definitely more advanced than what I'm able to do. Okay, on to the next measure here. It's kind of the same thing. Pedal in the beginning, and then no pedal on this chromatic thing. Right? You don't want that. Right? And then off on the pedal. Right? Yeah, I like this. Now, this is a hard part for students, so here's what I think you should do. Practice it without looking. You can go like this, and then you know where that note is, so put your thumb on it, and then you know, put, what is it? You probably put your, let's see, what's the fingering for this chord up here? You know, it could be 1, 2, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever you like, but you don't really need to look at it. And then whatever finger you want to use, put that there. I'm going to use my 4. And then I play the chord solid to learn it, and then later on I'm going to roll it like that. Left hand, don't have to look at that either. So, you know, a good way to practice, and, you know, just look up at the camera. I used third finger that time, and it felt pretty good. All right. Now, who put these pedal markings in? I mean, it gives an effect, I suppose. You know, like if you're doing the roar of a lion, you know, from Saint-Saëns' Carnival of the Animals. That probably is okay to use some pedal on. But this one, maybe a touch of pedal on the first one, but you want those notes to be clear. You really do. All right, this part is also difficult for students, and you know, it always sounds terrible because they just play the chords like this. Like that, and you should make the top note the loudest. You can do it like this, kind of squeeze it with your pinky, and then add this in, and then practice doing that together, like that. Or the Vladimir Horowitz method, which is to make that finger stiffer, and just kind of in that chord there. Whenever I'm doing this, I have a bad habit of tensing my jaw at the same time, too. So if you have that same problem, don't do it. All right, so bring out the top note, then another D minor chord, E minor 7 flat 5. It says to roll that, and then it's tied on the bottom, though I don't always do that. So, and then we're back to D minor. I think 4 is a good finger to use on top, then 5. Then maybe 4 again. I don't know. Do it the way you like it. And the left hand is like a boogie-woogie thing. But it's kind of cool. And, you know, once again, the pedal, I think, kind of spoils it there. So just hold the chord as long as you can. All right, try to... maybe a touch of pedal to connect them together, but no more than that. Yeah, I'm using the pedal right there at the end there to kind of get to the next chord. So like So pedal and pedal off, pedal and pedal off, pedal and pedal off. That's kind of how I'm doing it. And then we're back to the B section again, or we can go on. Oh, it's a B flat this time, isn't it? Now, right there, you want to hit that fairly loud. Right? And a nice plagial cadence into our new key signature of D major. The storm is over, the sun has come out, the birds are singing, the spiders are building new webs, and all is well in the world. Have, a nice grand piano like I have, and for many years I played on, small little cheap uprights. Now, once again, voice these chords. Spend some time playing each chord with that pinky bringing out the top note. All right? Otherwise, it sounds like the thumb is the one that's usually too loud, so keep the thumb soft. And you'll notice I kind of curve my fingers like this when I'm doing it, because each finger has its own amount of strength. So I can make that 5 really grab, but the other ones are just kind of like that, Now right here, they've got one pedal marking. We're down on G, and it changes from G to G minor. All right. Really, that's the sound you want with all that pedal? We're not playing the blues here. This is classical music. We don't want the blues in here. New pedal. See, I marked it in there, right? So, new pedal. And you could do a better fingering too, like this. All right. Just change that bottom note. And now this, way down here. This is like, the tenor singer in an opera doing a little recitative, a little solo. So make this very dramatic. And then we come back in with our tempo. And we have to think about our original tempo. And so before we do this last line, let's think about that. How fast do we want to go? To me, that's fast enough. I've heard it much faster. That's the tempo I like. So, 1 and 2 and 2 and quarter note. So 1 and 2 and 3 and so 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 2. And voice these chords too. So this is a good song to give to a student, especially a student who's like advanced enough to play it, but is kind of, on the edge of the cliff here. They're tired of their classical music. They want to quit. They're spending too much time doing other junk or watching YouTube or whatever they're doing, and you want to get them back into piano. This is a good song to kind of help them do that. But unfortunately, it's not a permanent solution. It'll just kind of help you get that student back on track again, and then you've got to find something else that'll keep them motivated. A good song to listen to also would be Beethoven's Sixth Symphony. It's probably about 2/3 of the way into the symphony. There's a storm, and it really is exciting. You can hear the little raindrops start to fall and the people scurrying about trying to find some shelter, and then the storm busts loose, and you hear the lightning bolts and the trees get split in half, and then, at the end the sun comes out. I don't know if he's got the birdies singing in that part of the song or not, but I know someplace in the symphony the birdies are chirping. And